Good morning vloggy vlog and welcome back to my channel. So in my past two videos I was telling you how about 2 months ago I started cooking, but there's just something so much more that has changed 2 months ago. So completely unintentionally I started slowly implementing certain very simple steps and routines in my life that absolutely changed my mindset and my approach to life in general. So first of them is waking up early. I was always a morning person, but I never really respected my bedtime. So I would still wake up at 5 a.m., 4:30 a.m., 6 a.m. very early in the morning, but I would go to bed around 1 or 1:30, getting just 3 or 4 hours of sleep. Now I wake up anywhere between 5 and 6 a.m., but I really respect my bedtime and make sure that I'm in bed by 10 p.m. A couple of you after I posted my morning routine asked me why I wake up so early, and there's a couple reasons for that. First of all, mornings are just so peaceful and so quiet. There is no cars outside, there is no people outside. Randy is usually sleeping for a little part of me being awake in the morning, and I think there's just something so fresh and calming in an early morning time of the day. Second of all, if you think about it, the days are not that long. You have about 12 hours, or I don't know how many hours of daylight you're getting right now, but if you're working a normal job and you're going to the office, then you really don't get that much of the sunlight and daylight outside. So I really like to get up as early as possible to get the max amount of sun hours outside. Another thing is that, and I think the most important thing about waking up early, is to not have a rushed morning. I think if we start the day with getting out of the bed and being very chaotic and trying to get things done and rushing and being angry and stressed out, then obviously the day is already started on a really bad note, and I think sometimes it's very difficult to turn it around. And I absolutely hate rushing at any point of the day, so I like to wake up early in the morning. Like right now I have a workout class at 7:30 a.m., but I still woke up at 5:30 to have those almost 2 hours of me time of collecting myself, making sure this is a very calm and relaxed time of the day.
This is probably the most important out of those tips, is to find gratitude in your life. And for probably around a year I've been using this gratitude journal. It makes it so easy. Every morning you write down things that you are grateful for and something that is going to make your day good, and at night you're just writing down the good things that happened that day. I think in life it's just so easy to focus on all the negatives and worrying and complaining about things not going the way you want them to go. But to be completely honest, something I realized through months of therapy as well, that there's just certain things that are completely out of our control, and worrying or just dwelling on it really is not going to make a change. So finding the little things that you can be grateful for, that make you happy, that are beautiful, it's so important. It's just about training your brain and seeing the beautiful and happy things in your life instead of focusing on the negatives. I used to be a very anxious person in a way that I would always overthink everything and overreact and worry about things. Me and Randy live a pretty busy life. We're constantly working, constantly on our phones. There is not really a moment throughout the day that our brains switch off. So meditation is my 5 to 10 minutes where I am not thinking about any external factors and I'm just focusing truly, fully on myself. And something very smart that I heard recently, most people quit meditation because when they're trying to sit down and meditate and just focus on their breathing, their brain just keeps going out of it and keeps thinking about the things that you need to do that day or all the things that you're worried about. When you're able to bring yourself back to that chair and back to that sitting position and realize you're doing something for yourself, that's meditation. Even though it sounds like, oh, I failed, like this meditation didn't work because my brain was doing 100 other things. If you're able, even for a second, to bring yourself back to that stillness and that moment of peace, that's still meditation. Even a minute, 2 minutes a day, and I promise you that it's going to change your life for much better. So another habit is to be getting outside more and getting more steps and walking in general. People in LA just don't walk, and I don't blame them. Everything is just so spread out, not like in Europe that you have grocery stores that are right next to you and you can just easily walk everywhere. So I definitely try to make more effort to get more steps in. I try to do my walking in the morning by myself while listening to a podcast, and then at night with my dogs the second time. I am definitely not a book person. I tried reading multiple times in my life and it's just not working for me. I can't stay focused at all. And I found that podcasts just work so much better. It also depends what kind of a podcast it is. It has to be something that's interview style, not just one person talking the entire time. So my favorite recently is Jay Shetty. I think he interviews so many smart and valuable people that I learn so much out of it and just gain more insights in different, very smart areas of life.
Hydration, and one more time, hydration. You know those funny TikTok videos that people make fun of men giving women advice like, oh, you have a headache, just drink some water. Or are you in a bad mood, just drink some water. But honestly, being dehydrated and not being hydrated enough is a reason for so many different issues and problems. I mean, just think about it. We're mostly composed of water, so obviously we need water to feel good. I feel like if I don't drink enough water, I feel less energetic, I have cravings, I feel hungry for no reason, even though I just ate, and so many other different problems. So I am not saying I am a great drinker. This is something that, water drinker, I'm not talking about anything else. But this is something I really work on. As mentioned in other videos, I try to chug some water in the morning to really start my day off right. You wake up very dehydrated. Obviously, you didn't drink any water throughout the night, or most of us don't, unless you are a freak and you wake up in the middle of the night to just drink some water, but most of us don't. So it's very important to stay hydrated in the morning and then of course throughout the day. I cannot tell you the amount of water I'm trying to hit or drink because it's just very intuitive. I don't really think about it. I just try to drink whenever I remember. And also something that me and Randy did, there is just so much plastic. I just don't understand this in United States. In Europe, I think there's just so much easier to get affordable water in glass bottles. Here in America, if you want to buy a glass bottle of water, it costs like $4 or $5, which is absolutely ridiculous. So what we did, we just ordered those. So here is what we did recently. This is the dispenser with water that we ordered online, and every 2 weeks they come in and drop off the new gallons, or not gallons, the new jugs of water that are glass, and they come in and collect the empty bottles. Also, I feel like drinking water completely changed my skin texture and my skin. I am lucky enough that I've never had any big skin problems, like no acne or anything like that, but I just feel like my skin is just so much more plumped and alive and hydrated, and just the color of it and everything just looks so much better. So go drink some water. Cheers. Cleanliness around my workspace or in the kitchen, regardless of what I'm doing. I have a little mini, not so mini OCD
meaning the things need to be really a certain way. And if I'm trying to work and the table or my desk is just filled with 1,000 different items, then I really cannot focus on the task that I'm trying to accomplish. And the same goes to the kitchen. Before I cook any meal, I clean up my space, then I cook it, and then afterwards, Randy is responsible for cleaning it. But before I start cooking, I also clean the area that I'm using for the cooking. Food and fueling your body properly is so important for your health, for your energy levels, for your mood levels, and so many different things. So about 2 months ago, as I mentioned, I started being really creative with our foods, and once every 4 or 5 days, I sit down and search for cool recipes on Pinterest or all over the internet, or some recipes that we've made in the past and we really enjoyed. And I simply write them down on the board for 4 to 5 days for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And then every 4 or 5 days, I go grocery shopping for all the meals that I'm going to make for the next few days. So here it is, here's my board, and on this board I have every day of the week, and I have breakfast, lunch, and dinner listed, and all the ingredients that I'm missing that I still need to grab from the store. So this gives me a big peace of mind throughout the week. The reason why it's every 4 to 5 days is because we eat a lot of seafood and we prefer fresh seafood, and it doesn't stay fresh that long, so we're doing it every 4 to 5 days. Also, I think that most people fail at eating healthy when they try to make it too complicated. So all my recipes, I really try to make them very simple and something that I can take to go in case we're out of the house. So they're very easily meal prepped. And lastly, to just kind of close that circle up, is going to bed early. And I know that when I posted my morning routine, a lot of you had questions about how to go to bed early. And like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, I used to go to bed at 1, 2 a.m. and then wake up still at 5, 6 a.m. being exhausted and not getting enough sleep. 9:30 p.m. I switch off my phone. I try to stay out of it, not scroll, not be on it, not work, and also try to turn off the TV. Me and Randy used to not watch TV at all whatsoever. We started doing it a couple times a week now, and because of our schedule with the jet lag and coming back from Turkey and from Europe, it's just sometimes easier to fall asleep with some TV playing in the background. For me especially, I just like a little bit of noise. At 9:30 p.m. we turn the TV on, the music and the sounds that are helpful for sleep, and you can find those on YouTube. There's just so many options. Just type in like sleep music or sleep sounds, something like that, and it's just playing very quietly in the background. I try to also, something that I've been doing is just kind of meditating when I go to bed. I'm just thinking about breathing in and breathing out, and it helps me mute all the outside noise and all the other thoughts that I'm going 100 miles an hour in my head. So that's another helpful tip. But other than that, phone and TV are your absolute worst enemies when it comes to going to bed early. Also, me and Randy don't really party. Of course, when we're traveling, we'll have a drink here and there, but we don't go out, we don't party, we don't really drink at all. So that makes it easier to keep that very regular and clean schedule of going to bed early and waking up early. So yeah, this is it, you guys. I hope those tips and tricks are going to help you achieve a better, productive, and healthier lifestyle. As I mentioned, those are the things that I started doing completely unintentionally. It just happened throughout the period of maybe 2 months of just incorporating one thing at a time, a meditation, then a podcast. I think a lot of those things that I changed in my lifestyle are a result of listening to smart podcasts and smart people with great knowledge. Thank you guys for watching, and I'm going to see you guys in my next one.